Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the ballpark at the International Baseball Centre at Ashbourne, County Meath, Ireland. A tremendous day here, a beautiful day for baseball. We had a walk-off winner in the early game, an absolute classic, as that one went 10-9 to Finland after the 10th, and we saw the tiebreak rules for the first time in the CEB European Sea Pool Qualifier Championship. As we went to extra innings, each team was given a runner on first and on second. And it certainly contributed to speeding up the end of that game. Finland able to score 2 to Slovenia's 1 in extra innings after an absolutely smashing game. And it is a beautiful day at the ballpark. It is a little over 21 degrees, a little bit north of 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Good evening and welcome to the International Baseball Centre.
And our stadium announcer Ben Lynn is going to call out our two teams, Ireland visiting and Greece the home team.
Ladies and gentlemen, and Game 6, pitting our local hometown Irish national team against the Republic of Greece, is up in just a few minutes. So to get us underway here, ladies and gentlemen, would you join me in welcoming to the field, representing the Confederation of European Baseball, our delegate and tournament director, Alexander Horvatic.
So as the thanks go out to the CEB delegate and the technical director and commissioner of the tournament, and the scoring director, Susana Santos, and her local scorers, Jesse Cook from the Dublin Spartans, and Adam Murray from the same ball club right here in Ireland.
Ladies and gentlemen, our field umpires for tonight's game. Behind the plate, from Finland, Tony Jones.
And tonight's umpiring crew is introduced. Tony Jones, the naturalized Finn, Californian-born, will be the plate umpire.
From Slovenia,
he'll be joined by the Slovenian, Mladen Pagic.
And at third base,
and the Dutchman, Peter Brink. And our umpires wearing light blue take to the field.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you join me in welcoming
and now here comes
the hometown yet visiting Irish national team.
The Irish national team, the lineup.
Leading off and playing center field, number 58, Leo Farrell.
So out comes the co-captain, Leo Farrell, Greystones Mariners ball club man.
Field, number 36, Connor Santiani.
Connor Santoianni, recent graduate of the U18 team and right fielder.
Number 29, Joe Cosgrove.
And Joe Cosgrove up in the bullpen, the home bullpen, despite being the visiting team. That's the prerogative of being the hometown heroes. Third baseman Brian McAuliffe comes out. Just going to say Cosgrove playing in his natural position, a catcher for the first time in this tournament. Figures he's got a lot to show. Here's Big Mike Ferrato, the first baseman.
Our designated hitter for the evening, number 25, Brendan Galvin.
Brendan Galvin has caught 2 games on 2 days, so to give him a little bit of a spot, he's going to DH in this game. Pat Devaney slides over from second base to shortstop. He's had a couple of clutch hits throughout the 2 games he's played to date. Alan Fox maintains his position in left field. Domestic League representative,
second base,
playing for the Dublin Spartans.
Brendan Power.
And the sting in the tail is Brendan Power, middle infielder, playing second base. Came on as a substitute, as a pinch runner and a pinch hitter in the last couple of games.
Keelan Smithers.
And pitching for Ireland is going to be the left-hander, Keelan Smithers.
And now a round of applause for the coaches, reserves, and staff for your Irish national team.
And Sean Mitchell and his coaches come on out, as well as the bullpen and the bench players.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ireland wearing their alternate strip of green
for tonight's match.
As the away team. Green for Ireland.
Playing second base, number 11, Max Warren.
So Max Gorin will lead off the Greek efforts, and he's going to play second base.
In center field, number 5, Peter Maestralis.
Peter Maestralis comes in the 2-hole.
Batting third, the designated hitter, number 12, Jamie Legas. Playing first base, number 7, Ari Sekopoulos.
Big Ari Sekopoulos. So far, it's really been between him and Brian McAuliffe for the top hitter in the tournament. Greece, of course, idle yesterday. They had a rest day, so Sokopoulos is one game behind McAuliffe, but still has a ton of RBIs to his name. Big hits. Georgios Triveras is in the bullpen.
Left field, number 14, Costa Kapatanasis.
Constant Kapathanassis comes out. He's the left fielder wearing 14.
In right field, number 20, John Kalivas.
Ioannis Skalivas, or John to his friends.
And at shortstop, number 10, George Tsifikliotis.
And George Tsifikliotis playing
On the
shortstop.
mound for the Greek team tonight, number 24, Peter Sikaris. And ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the coaches, reserves, and staff for the Greek team.
And Panagiotis Peter Sikaris is going to be on the bump for
Now,
the
ladies
Greek
and
team.
gentlemen, before we proceed with the anthems and on with
Before
our
we proceed
tournament,
with the anthems, we will take
we
a
wanna
minute's
pause
silence
for a moment
to pause and reflect
to
and
offer
remember
prayers for those affected by
those
deadly wildfires currently raging
affected by the
in Greece.
wildfires in Greece, where cars have been
Let us
turned to
observe a full
molten
minute of
metal
silence
and
on
dozens
behalf
and
of those
dozens of
affected
people
by
have been
their
killed.
families.
So a minute's silence will be observed here at the ballpark at Ashburn. An impeccably observed minute's silence at the ballpark at Ashburn for those affected by the tragedy in Greece. And everyone involved in the tournament, as those who have lost loved ones and are still missing people in that tragedy, in their thoughts as the Greek anthem rings around the International Baseball Center.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Greek national anthem.
The Greek national anthem very well received there by the crowd of several hundred here, and now Auron Navian.
Remain standing for the Irish national anthem.
And Pater Carney's stirring words, translated into Irish in the 1920s, ring out across Ashburn. And a crowd of several hundred here already in the early going at the ballpark at Ashburn, as Ireland will bat first as the visiting team. Manager Sean Mitchell goes to the home plate conference, where he will be joined by his Greek counterpart. Greek managed by James Skip Essien, U.S. college ball stalwart. They have a lot of veterans on the coaching staff as well, including former Greek international catcher and Seton Hall University standout Mark Pappas. But it's Skip Essien who meets with Sean Mitchell and home plate umpire Tony Jones from Finland to discuss the ground rules. And the crowd sings out, "Come on, you boys in green," for the hometown nine as they get ready to swing the bats. Leo Farrell's going to be first up, left-handed hitter, center fielder, and player with the Greystones Mariners in a recent PhD. He'll be followed by Connor Santoyani, another lefty hacker. He's going to be manning right field, and also due up in the first inning, the catcher, Joe Cosgrove. Had a couple of fine games at shortstop to date, but he's gone behind the dish now to attempt to shut down the Greek running game. Had the good fortune to chat with Joe's family, and they told me that when base runners run on Joe, he sees it as a personal affront and wants to deal with it. So we're looking forward to seeing him behind the dish. A young man with bags and bags of talent, a native of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Orlando, Florida, correction. Don't want to get that one wrong. So, Greece are going to take the field now. Pitching for them, Panagiotis Peter Sikaras. He'll be throwing the ball to Georgios Tliveras, the catcher. Across the infield, there will be Dimitrios Kourtis at the hot corner, George Tsifikliotis at shortstop, Max Gorin at second base, and at first base, big bad Ari Sakopoulos, the big hitter for Greece in their only game to date so far. Across the outfield, Peter Mastralis is going to man center field. In left field, it'll be Constant Kapathanasis, and in right field, Ioannis Kalivas, or John to his friends. So Greece just huddle up and discuss game theory, and they get ready to take the field. So your broadcast today is brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. In the shadow of the Empire State Building, check out their Burger of the Week on Foley's NY Facebook page. And check out the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. I was in Foley's a couple of years ago. Had dinner with the owner, Sean Clancy, and had a look at his fine collection of baseballs, signed baseballs by the great and good of Major League Baseball, even minor league baseball. He was lucky enough when the Futures game was being held at Citi Field, a young Noah Syndergaard popped in for dinner. And Sean said, "Hey, Noah, sign a ball." And that's probably one of the more valuable ones there, as Noah Syndergaard has turned out to be quite the pitcher for the New York Mets. So Peter Sikaras, wearing number 24, is going to take to the mound. And he's going to warm up in front of a hostile hometown crowd, still singing, "Come on, you boys in green." The bleacher seats are full. The hill is getting full. The new bleachers down the right field line are filling up. They've even squeezed a couple of people onto the scoreboard seats. We're going to have close to a capacity crowd here at Ashburn for what has been billed as the biggest game this field has seen to date. These two are the tournament favorites, the two undefeated teams left in the competition, and something has got to give today because, ladies and gentlemen, as you may or may not know, there are no ties, no drawn ball games in baseball. We will play until we have a winner, and we will play extra innings with the new CEB tie-breaking rule.
Joining us, you're in for quite the game tonight as the Hellenic Republic take on our home team, Irish national team.
So the Hellenic Republic
Game
of Greece
of our Euro
in the
tournament
field.
here
as they warm up.
Just a reminder to everybody, batted balls can fly.
Just 2
in
more
any
warm-up
number of
pitches, and then
directions.
Leo
Foul
Farrell
balls
is going to
can come
step
into the
in.
stands, into groups, into people, all around.
Gorgeous
So
evening at
important
Ashburn.
you're
The sun
constantly on the
is
watch, constantly vigilant.
setting
As
to the
little
west.
signs
The
say,
wind
be
is
alert.
a strong
Baseball's
easterly
hurt,
breeze blowing in.
especially if you have little ones with you at the
It
field
caused
today.
havoc in the
Be
day
aware
game.
for their safety.
In the late innings, when the wind picked up, a lot of the outfielders
We
couldn't
also
make
had
the
some
plays.
nice
They
drop
fell in
off
for
over
singles and
here
doubles
at
that
the
should have been routine
announcer booth.
catches.
Have some things that have been lost, presumably by.
So as they throw down to
spectators
second
today.
base, Leo Farrell's going to step up.
So if you lost anything, take a look. See if you're missing something.
And home plate umpire Tony Jones is going to get ready to put the ball into
Meanwhile,
play.
Our game is about to get underway.
The leadoff man for
your
Ireland, Leo
Irish
Farrell.
National team, number 58, the center fielder.
Went 1 for
Leo
5 in last night's ball game, but
Farrell.
came up clutch in the late innings with a solid base hit to his pull field just when it was needed. Ireland were at that stage attempting to close out the game on the 10-run rule. They ended up winning 7-0, but they weren't really stressed throughout the game as they took a perfect game right the way to the 6th. That one is a ball that skips all the way to the wall and away. So Sikaris misses inside to Leo. Lefty batter, righty pitcher. The odds in the hitter's favor. And he skies that one away up over the broadcast booth, out of play. Scores a count 1-1. So if you're tuning in on Facebook, you're cheering on Team Ireland, or even if you're cheering on Team Greece, let us know where you're watching from. And there's another foul ball straight back into the backstop here at Ashbourne. A beautiful facility built largely due to the vision of 2 men, Dave Shire and Irish national team manager Sean Mitchell. The driving force behind this beautiful ballpark at Ashbourne that has allowed Ireland to host its first ever European Championships. Swing and a foul ball as Leo hacks away at that one and stays alive at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man. And if you're watching in the greater Dublin area, anywhere near Ashbourne, come on down here. Free entertainment, free baseball. There's nothing better. That one just misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sikaris is going to huff and puff, but he's going to readdress, go back to his windup, and Leo's still alive 2-2 at the plate. And that one misses outside, and it fills up the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ireland's leadoff man. Peter Sikaris from the windup. That one's up, ball 4. And a good take. Full count pitch was up over the letters. And Leo Farrell
Now batting for the Irish
is
team,
aboard.
the right fielder, number 36, Connor Santiani.
That's going to bring up Connor Santoyani. And the crowd shouts, Connor, 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 as Farrell gets a good lead. That's a ball low. Santoyani just spits on it. Ireland's number 36 has had a fine tournament to date. Swung the bat quite well in yesterday evening's game. So Sikaris is not dialing down and finding the zone on these fastballs. Three balls and no strikes to Santoyani. And that one's in across belt high for a strike to 3-1. I happened to overhear a few of the Greek fans earlier on complaining about the cold. Let me tell you, it's a scorcher here if you're Irish. I'm not sure my skin can handle it. I've got the factor 50 on. Santoyani swings at that one, and that's going to go into the backstop. Foul ball for 3-2. So full count, nobody out, and a runner on first in the shape of Leo Farrell. Farrell in motion, and it's ball 4 anyway, so he's going to move up on the force rather than a stolen base. Santoyani draws a walk, and up comes the fine young catcher, number 29, Joe Cosgrove. Cosgrove, couple of base hits already in this tournament, has played a good shortstop, and keen to show everybody what he can do behind the dish in this game. If you're just joining us, it's the top of the first. We have no score in our ball game. Ireland have 2 men aboard with nobody out. Young Joe Cosgrove, the catcher, at the plate. Peter Sikaris from the stretch. That one's in for a strike. Gets in just at the high outside black right there. It's not the pitch that Cosgrove wanted, so he just watches it in. Steps off. Tries to get a different pitch. He doesn't like the sign thrown down by the catcher. Sikaris gets the pitch he wants now and comes set. And it misses. Fastball low and outside for a ball. Sikaris, the scouting book says he's going to lean heavily on that fastball, which can touch the 80s. A lot of the players on this Irish team would like nothing better than that. They just want to get a fastball down the pipe that they can turn around on and send it into the outfield and score some runs. That's in for a strike at the thighs. A little low, a little outside. Again, not the pitch that Joe wanted, but now he's going to have to do a little choke and poke. Just shorten his grip, make contact, and try and move those runners over. And that's low below the knees, despite the good frame job back there by Georgios Triveris, the catcher. Umpire Tony Jones isn't buying it. It's below the knees. It's a ball. Still 2 strikes now on Cosgrove. Checks his swing on that one. It's a ball outside. Three balls and 2 strikes now, full count. Runners at first and second. Sikaris from the stretch. The runner's in motion. And a hot shot, base hit. Farrell's going to score as the throw is up the line, and Cosgrove has an RBI base hit. And way to get the ball rolling. The 3-2 pitch, he takes it to opposite field. A great piece of hitting into the gap. A line drive straight to the outfield. Coach Donegal Fergus has no hesitation in sending Leo Farrell all the way home. He keeps Santoyani at second base, and there's runners at first and second with nobody out for big, bad Brian McAuliffe. And have a go, Joe Cosgrove, the catcher, doing it with the bat. So second baseman Max Gorin just trots in to have a little word with his pitcher. Peter Sikaris has no outs now. He has conceded 1 earned run on 1 hit. He has walked 2. And McAuliffe stepping in. Left-handed hitter. Watches that one up for a ball. It's a ball as well. And Joe Cosgrove will be delighted with that one. He told me after the game yesterday that as someone who constantly seeks to improve, he was unhappy with a couple of his at-bats yesterday, despite his fine performance at the plate. So he'd be delighted to get the ball rolling in exactly the right manner with an RBI single. And, of course, he's aboard at first base. Big swing and a miss from Brian McAuliffe. Santoyani at second. Cosgrove at first. And Brian McAuliffe, who basically knocked the skin off the ball in last night's game. And in the first game, of course, finished a double shy of the cycle. That one's foul tipped for a strike. Sakaris seems to have finally found his spots now and is hitting them well with the fastball. McAuliffe on 2 strikes is just going to shorten up his grip by a half an inch. Just try and do a nice contact swing here. And he clobbers that one out to right field. High, deep, back, and out of play into the hometown bullpen. So a good effort by Ioannis Kalivas in right field to try and make the catch over the fence into the bullpen, but he can't glove it. And McAuliffe has demonstrated the power in his pull shot. He hit a 3-run home run in the first game in Ireland's first game, our second game of the competition, over the 331 sign in right center. So now with a second life after the long foul ball, McAuliffe clobbers that one along the ground, and it again will be a foul ball. Tsakopoulos gloves it foul, and the runners have to retreat. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And McAuliffe is the first out of the ball game.
Number 17, Mike Ferrato.
So one away, runners on first and second for Michael Anthony Ferrato, Big Mike. Mikey Ferrato, a young man, a medical student, originally from Canada. Qualifies through his Irish ancestry on his mother's side. Watches that one up, away for a ball. Plans to continue playing baseball at whatever level he can, even once he becomes a qualified doctor. And he goes around, offering it a fastball away. And that's a strike. Keelan Smithers in the Irish bullpen, just finishing up his warm-up. Fine left-handed pitcher. That's a ball low at the shins. And Sikaris and the Greek team are going to jaw away at the umpire, but that's not going to bring them any success. Never known an umpire to change his call after the pitcher tells him he's a son of a you-know-what. So Ferrato digs in. Sikaris gets his sign. And that one is in for a strike. Mike just watches it for strike 2. Squares the count to 2-2. That one's in the dirt, but well stopped by Tliveras back there. It's going to prevent any advance by Santoyani at second or by Cosgrove at first. And wrapped away, defensive swing and a foul ball way over the right field fence into the batting cages. Ferrato stays alive. And ball 4 loads the bases with one away for the designated hitter, number 25, Brendan Galvin.
The Designated hitter, number 25, Brendan Galvin.
And Skip Essien is just going to pay a visit to Peter Sakaris. Donegal Fergus is going to call in his runners, third base coach for this Irish national baseball team. He's going to talk strategy to Cosgrove, Santayani, and Ferrado, as well as the batter Galvin, let them know what they're doing in each and every situation. And at this stage, Skip Essien is just going to pick up his pitcher, just let him know he's throwing well. If he hits the spots, he's going to do well. There's no change to be made this early in the game, this low into the pitch count. And a visit will be charged to the manager. And Skip Essien jaws as well to Tony Jones, the home plate umpire, asking about strikes and balls. And I figure that's going to weigh on the umpire's mind later on, and maybe Greece might pay for this kind of indiscipline, I suppose you'd call it. One of the things you learn early and often playing baseball is you're not going to win an argument with an umpire. And if it gets to the point where you think you're winning an argument, you might find yourself making that long, slow trek back up to the stands because you've just been tossed. Sakaris will go to the windup here with Galvin. And that's on the ground. Sakopoulos will try for the double play. And they get out of the inning with minimal damage. The double play is completed. 3-6-3. Sakopoulos heads up play. And an easier one for the left-handed first baseman to do as he gloves it, throws to short, where Tsifikliotis is able to complete the double play. And we are going to the bottom. Ireland lead at 1-0. And we'll be back right after this. Live? So welcome back to our ball game at the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. Ireland loaded the bases, but unfortunately left him loaded. They scored one run on one hit, the Joe Cosgrove RBI single. And 3 walks loaded the bases, and they couldn't do anything more with it. Goran, the second baseman for Greece, going to step in and face Keelan Smithers. And Smithers' first pitch is a strike right down the pipe. Good left-hander with a lot of pace and some nice tailing action on his two-seamer. He throws a four-seamer, relies heavily on it. That one just misses. And that's on the ground. And Power is going to boot it. And Guren is going to be satisfied. He's going to be content with first base on the fielding error. He's going to come up with a bad hop and hit Power on the shins, and he can't get his glove to it.
Now batting the center fielder.
That's going to bring up Peter Maestralis.
Maestralis.
Up and inside. Maestralis dances out of danger, and Smithers has a 1-0 count. Runner at first base. Keelan Smithers goes to the stretch. Gets his sign from Cosgrove. And that's a strike. Right above the knees there, thigh high. That one is fouled away, so 1-2 now on Maestralis. Swing and a miss, strike three, and the first strikeout of the game is there. And we celebrate that strikeout with Softco, proud supporters of Irish baseball. Softco.com, supporting your green machine at the European Baseball Championships. It's going to bring in Tomas Lekas, the designated hitter, right-handed hitter. Runner at first, not in motion. That one is high for a ball. And that one just misses low. So one high, one low for 2 balls, 2-0 count now. And the home crowd here are trying to get into the heads of the Greek hitters. Smithers from the stretch. That's a strike. Good fastball. Down the pipe, taken all the way, like us. Watches that one in. A nice breaking ball for a strike on the outer half of the plate. Squares the count at 2-2. Foul tip, strike 3, and there's 2 away. Smithers is dealing here. But that's going to bring up the danger man.
Oh, batting.
Ari
Number
Sakopoulos.
7, the first baseman, Ari Sakopoulos.
Sakopoulos had a monster first game for Greece, went 3 for 3 with a single, a double, and a triple. That's in for a strike. He also had 2 sacrifice flies. He scored twice, and he had 7 RBIs. He finished a homer shy of the cycle. His 7 RBIs in the first game matched Brian McAuliffe's 7 RBIs in the evening game on the same day. That's a foul ball for another strike. So he and McAuliffe kind of head-to-head for the title of biggest hitter so far. McAuliffe, of course, has that extra game where he went 4 for 5, I believe. Last night's game was a great one for Brian McAuliffe, as he hit a couple of 2-baggers. That one is just missing. And Sakopoulos wraps that one down the left field line, but it's a foul ball. It hits a tree. It's a dead ball. So Sakopoulos now with 2 strikes on him is going to dig in. And if he connects with one of those Smithers fastballs, Sakopoulos knows he can drive it deep to the fence or even further. But a swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Smithers strikes out the side swinging after allowing a base runner on an error. So Ireland concede no runs on no hits. That one error at second base leaves a base runner on first, but he's stranded there. 1 man left. We're going to be back. Ireland batting in the top of the second right after.
The shortstop, number 15, Pat Devaney.
So Pat Devaney is going to step in for Team Ireland here in the top of the second. He's had a couple of doubles so far in the tournament. Has come up big in the clutch. He's going to lead off the top of 2 here. He goes halfway around, but it's a called strike on the pitch anyway. And he watches strike 2. That one's in the dirt. Devaney just spits on it, watches it for 1 and 2. 1-0 ball game here in the top of the second. Peter Sikaris loaded the bases but got out of a jam with a double play started by Ari Sakopoulos in the top of the first. Ireland had already scored on a Joe Cosgrove RBI base hit. Devaney watches that one up and outside for a ball. And Devaney fouls that one away. So Devaney fouled that one away to stay alive. And that one is outside. A good take on 2 strikes by Pat Devaney. Three balls and 2 strikes now. And Devaney watches that one outside, ball 4, and yet another walk. 4th walk of the game issued across 2 innings so far by Peter Sikaris. He's going to bring up the left fielder, Alan Fox. Playing his ball here for the Dublin Spartans Baseball Club in the Irish Domestic League. The third baseman's in case of a bunt, but Foxy's not showing. Greece have their middle infielders at double play depth. Sakopoulos is holding Devaney on, but shading him on the inside, just so he can crash in on a bunt play as well. And Sakaris from the stretch. Oh, and it's a base hit in fair territory from Alan Fox. That one is going to skip all the way up to the fence. Devaney is going to try and score from first. Fox is he's going to go into second gear. The throw is up the line. It's an RBI triple for Alan Foxy Fox. And way to come up in the clutch, Foxy. Ireland doubled their lead.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 22, Brendan Power.
That's going to bring up the sting in the tail for the Irish lineup. Brendan Power, he comes up with no outs, a runner on third base, and one already scored in the inning. Sakaris from the stretch. And that's in for a strike. At the letters on Brendan Power. Power has come into the previous two games as a substitute, once as a pinch runner and once as a pinch hitter. He played a little bit of left field where he saw the only base hit of the game last night drop in front of him. Watches that one up and away for a ball. Seems like a perfect position for the squeeze play. If Ireland were to bunt this one up the first base line, there would be no play at home plate. And Fox has demonstrated his speed on legging out that triple. He may be gassed, of course. That's why maybe it's not on. He swings away, though. I think they're backing Power's ability with the bat. In the warm-up tournament, he had a couple of solid base hits. Nice line drives down to his pull field. So he demonstrated that he can be trusted with a green light to just swing away. Meanwhile, on the Greek side, Sakaris is going to have to bear down 4 walks across 1 complete inning and into the second. He goes set, and that's in for a strike. 3 called, and Brendan Power is the first out of the inning. It's going to bring back up the leadoff man, the left-handed hitter, Leo Farrell.
Fielder, number 58, Leo Farrell.
And with a lefty up, you feel the suicide squeeze might be unlikely, as it's going to come down the third baseline and potentially cause some troubles for the base runner. Well, you never know what's on. Oh, line drive right up the middle. Well, he just told me where to stick my suicide squeeze as he gets an RBI base hit. Leo Farrell coming up in the clutch. Ireland take a 3-1 lead. Foxy scores handily from third base. So a runner at first, one away, and up comes Connor Santoyani.
Connor Santoyani.
I'm going to sit here talking about suicide squeezes and safety squeezes and small ball, and they just say, no, Peter, that's not what we're going to do. We're going to hit the snot out of the ball. Soft liner foul for a strike from Santoyani. Bit of a half-hearted swing there at a pitch outside. Checks his swing, and that's inside for a ball. Ireland doing well here in the early going. One away in the top of the second. They have a 3-0 lead. As we know from this tournament so far, though, no lead is safe. We have seen a 9-1 lead evaporate. We have seen another big lead evaporate this morning. As Sakaris steps off, and Farrell is going to skip back to the bag. Runner in motion, and a swing from Santoyani, but it's fouled away. And yeah, it looks like the bat's a casualty. And that one is going to be sacrificed to the baseball gods. We'll wait until it gets cold, and we'll burn that bat over an open fire here. Santoyani switches out his broken bat now. A ball and 2 strikes to the young Irish hitter. Crowd still filing in here at the ballpark at Ashburn. People, of course, have finished work now, are coming down and enjoying some free baseball fun. As Santoyani fouls that one away to the Irish dugout. Cosgrove on deck. Brian McAuliffe in the hole. The Irish lineup goes lefty, lefty, righty, lefty at the top of the order. Fouled away to the backstop. Almost a foul tip, third strike, but it just gets away from Silveras behind the dish. So a big friendly hello and welcome to everybody tuning in on Facebook Live and on YouTube. Pitch inside, runner in motion, and safe at second base. A good jump by Leo Farrell and a good slide away from the tag of second baseman Max Gorin. Or rather, shortstop George Stefikliotis. So now a runner in scoring position for Santoyani. That one's in the dirt. And the runner will hold as it is very well blocked by Tliveras. One away. 2 runs in already in the inning. Devaney led off with a walk and was brought home on the Alan Fox triple. And Leo Farrell's base hit scored Fox. He's at second out with a stolen base. That one's in the dirt. So it's ball 4. But on the play, Leo Farrell is going to advance on what will be scored a wild pitch. Runners at the corners for Joe Cosgrove. Last time he came up to bat, he came up with the clutch RBI base hit to get the ball rolling. Now he's going to step in a situation where his team could do with a little bit of padding to that lead. So the young catcher steps in. You know, I like that old school look, those high socks. I like that. It's nice to see young guys who like that baseball tradition of high socks. Connor Santoyani at first base, Joe Cosgrove looking like real ball players. Leo Farrell likes those long pants, those short socks. He should be showing leadership to this Irish team. He should be wearing the full stirrups, but no, he likes those long pants. To each their own, I guess. So in steps the fine young Irish catcher. Joe Cosgrove. He's got runners at the corners. He's got one away. And Sikaris from the stretch sends that one in for a ball. And a good take by Cosgrove. That's in for a strike. It's dropped, though, by the catcher Tliveras. And on that passed ball, Santoyani is going to make it up into scoring position and take away the force out and the chance of a double play along the ground. That's some heads-up base running by Santoyani, and if you want to be heads-up with your casual dining, choose the best casual dining in Meath. Labuca Pizza, Pasta, and Grill. 3 great local restaurants in Ashburn, Ratoath, and Dunboyne. Labuca.ie. That's in for strike 2. Ball in the dirt there to Cosgrove. Peter Sakaris is going to change out the baseball. That one of the ones that skipped all the way to the wall, so it's just scuffed up. He gets a new pearl from home plate umpire Tony Jones. And Cosgrove steps in. He fouls that one away just to stay alive. A defensive swinging at the plate. Gets a piece of it and stays alive. And a shot out to second base where it's caught on a line by Max Goren. Cosgrove got a good piece of that one, a decent swing to his opposite field, but Goren was positioned perfectly, dropped to a knee and made the catch on the fly. Santayani and Farrell were heads up enough to freeze on the line drive, and there's no double play. So 2 runners in scoring position with 2 away for Brian McAuliffe, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. And they're just going to put McAuliffe on. They want no piece of him. So an intentional base on balls issued to the third baseman, Brian McAuliffe, and that's going to bring up Mike Ferrato. So they've loaded the bases. There's nowhere else to put Ferrato. And Sakaris is going to hope he doesn't do what he did in the first inning where he walked Mike. And that one is on the ground, out deep towards short. He bobbles it, and Ireland score again. 3 on the inning, 4 total. They lead this 4-0. Mike Ferrato hit that one deep into the hole. Credit him with an infield single on that one. And this is another visit from Skip Essien. Second visit of the inning means he has to make a change. So Ireland have chased Peter Sakaris out of this ball game. Out he comes, and in his place to pitch comes Nicholas Letas, wearing number 22. So Peter Sakaris makes it through 1 2/3. He's still responsible for all 3 base runners. And he is not happy with his own performance. He throws his glove into the dugout and goes to take a seat. That's not to say he's been roughed up, but this is such a crucial game. Both of these teams would be favorites to make it to the final at least, if not to win. So at this stage, Skip Essien is not going to take any chances, and he's going to give his ball club the best chance to win, and win early. Because if Greece go to 2-0 and Ireland go to 2-1, then all of a sudden the crucial game is Greece-Slovenia. And they'll feel that they can win that with their second-string pitchers. So they're just going to use a short hook on Sakaris, pull him out of the game. So that's our first Corks call to the bullpen of this game. Find food in Ashbourne. Corks, proud sponsors of the Ashbourne Baseball Club and Baseball Ireland. This Corks call to the bullpen sees Nicholas Letas come in place of Peter Sakaris. And the hometown crowd they're giving us some of that Irish magic. Ole, 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 they sing. Hard to believe Irish fans of various sports have been singing that song for 28 years. Ever since the World Cup in Italia 90. Soccer, of course. A big shout out to all the Greece and Ireland fans watching from the United States of America. It's about 1:20 p.m. on the East Coast, so everybody should be in work. But they're tuning in. So Letas is ready, and in steps the designated hitter, Brendan Galvin. There are 2 away on the inning. And that one's away. It scoots away. There's going to be a play at the plate potentially. Santayani makes it no play. He slides in, avoids a collision with the pitcher covering. The runners scoot up to third and second respectively. And Ireland score again. That's 4 in on the inning for a 5-0 lead. And now the force is removed. And Galvin has 2 runners in scoring position. 2 ducks on the pond. A great chance to extend Ireland's lead with a base hit here. Plenty of space right up the middle. They're shifting him slightly to opposite field where he's had some success in the past. Proof that the Greek coaches and managers have really done their homework on scouting this Irish team. Of course, the run will be charged to the starting pitcher, Peter Sikaris. And there's a shot out to right field where it will be taken in on the run by Ioannis Kalivas. But Ireland do some damage. They put it together in the top of the second. They score 4 runs on 2 hits. No errors, but 3 walks, crucially. 5-0. We're back right after. Bottom of the second here at the International Baseball Center at Ashford. Game 6 of our European Championship C-Pool qualifying tournament. Here at the International Baseball Center, and Greece about to bat, facing into a 5-0 deficit. Keelan Smithers was untouchable in the first. Greece reached on an error, no hits. Stepping up now, Dimitrios Kortis, the third baseman.
Number 29, Dimitrios Kortis.
That one is up and outside for a ball. After watching Sikaris and Lettuce, it is a change of pace to see the speed Smithers brings to the game. That is a ball inside. Keelan Smithers is a tall, rangy left-hander. Has nice movement, power. Will stop that with his backhand and make the play. Good defensive effort there. Power had to move to his uncomfortable right-hand side. Slid, stopped it with his backhand, stood up, and had enough time to fire a strike to Ferrado. Scored 4-3 in the first out as recorded.
Jordan Thliveras.
Georgios Thliveras, the catcher, is going to step up with 1 out and nobody on. That's down around his ankles for a ball. Just watches that one. Pops that one away. Foul for strike 1. It gets over our burgeoning crowd here at Ashburn. Quite a few hundred people here already, and they're streaming in through the gate still as we speak. They've missed a humdinger so far if you're an Irish fan. 5-0. The boys in green lead it. There's a shot, line drive, snagged at the hot corner by McAuliffe. He reached up and over his right shoulder at a ball that nearly took his head off. Hard liner.
Batting Left
Qualifiers is going to feel hard done by.
field, Costa Capathanasis.
Constant Capathanasis is going to step in, the left fielder. Swing and a miss for strike one. And the Irish fans get their bowrons going. The traditional Irish drum played sideways with a small stick. A bowron traditionally made, of course, from goat skin. That one is up and outside. And strangely enough, the word bowron translates as the deaf one. But I think that means that even deaf people can hear bowrons being played. Fouled away to stay alive at the plate. Capathanasis battling hard here against Keelan Smithers, the Irish starter. Popped up on the infield. Smithers will go himself, make the play, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Greeks in the bottom half of the second, and Ireland have a chance to do some more damage right after this.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 15.
So Pat Devaney
Devaney.
is going to step in here and get Ireland's cause going in the top of the third. Ireland lead this ball game 5-0.
Started the rally with a walk.
He started the bottom of the top of the second, rather. Started that 4-run second with a walk and would come around to score on the RBI triple from Alan Fox. Checks his swing, but it's a strike anyway. So Devaney has been clutch when he's needed to for Ireland. He's come up with big RBI doubles in both games to date and has walked and scored a run so far in this game. That one makes it in for a strike as well, and Devaney looks at it, shakes his head. He didn't like it. He went into an 0-2 hole in the second as well, battled it back to 3-2, and then drew the walk, got aboard, and was scored from first on the great RBI triple up the right field line to opposite field by Alan Fox. Fouls that one away. That was heading for the strike zone, so he stays alive. Foul that one away. He stays alive. And he watches that one in the dirt, a good eye. He leaves that one down there, just spits on it for a ball. It goes to 1-2 now on the fine young Irish middle infielder, Pat Devaney. Playing his first tournament for the Irish national baseball team this week. inside half of the plate. Strike three called at the ties. And Lettuce has a strikeout.
Now batting, the left fielder.
It's going to bring up the left fielder, Alan Fox. Tripled in his last at-bat. And Foxy, despite being a veteran in Irish League baseball terms, has been playing for a long time. He continues to confound expectations, coming up with clutch hits when necessary in European championships, in warm-up tournaments, and right throughout the Irish domestic league season. And he watches that one in for a strike. He nods his head. He knows it was a good pitch to hit, but he just watches it all the way in. Ari Sakopoulos is now playing Fox deep because he knows that he can hit it opposite field. There's one into the crowd. Foul. Sakopoulos is not going to make the same mistake again. And I don't know if you've got a camera shot of the crowd. I don't think you do, folks, but Irish crowds get out of the way of baseballs rather than looking for a souvenir to take home. Mind you, that one was lined pretty hard. That one just misses outside, and again, the Greeks make their displeasure known. Certainly something, as an umpire, Tony Jones is not going to be too happy with, is the constant chat back. Swing, miss, strike three. And Fox is a strikeout victim as well. Back-to-back strikeouts here to open the third. That's going to bring up Brendan Power.
The second baseman.
He struck out looking in his last at-bat.
Brendan Power.
A 1-2-3 inning would be just the shot in the arm the Greeks need at this stage. They need to prove that they can shut down this Irish attack and stop them from scoring again, as Power watches that one up for a ball. And a huge Baseball Ireland shout out to all of our fans watching in New England, especially Rhode Island, Massachusetts, all parts of the nation, folks. You're more than welcome to join us here on this broadcast brought to you by Foley's New York. We are proud to say hello to all of our supporters in Newport, Rhode Island, tuning in as Brendan Power fouls that one away. And a big special shout out to the fine hostleries in Newport, Busker's Irish Bar and Crowley's Irish Pub. Longtime friends of the baseball community in Newport. Swing, miss, strike two. And Brendan Power is just going to have to clutch up. He's just going to have to choke up a little bit on the bat. Try and just poke this in a play and hope he can reach base. He watches that one up and away. That one's on the ground, out to third base. And the play will be made by Curtis. He fires across the diamond to Sakopoulos and records the third out of the inning. 1-2-3 go the Irish. And that is just the adrenaline boost this Hellenic Republic team needs. They're going to try and eat into that 5-run deficit in the bottom half of the third. We'll go live to the GoFundMe.
Ladies and gentlemen, the
So-
heroic efforts of the hometown Ashburn Baseball Club groundskeeping team.
You may have seen there on your screen the groundskeeping team from the Ashburn Baseball Club. Doing a great job of keeping Irish baseball going, and you can help Irish baseball keep going. Visit the GoFundMe page, the URL on your screen right now. John Kalivas is going to dig in to face Keelan Smithers. Help support this Irish baseball program, defray its travel costs. Keelan Smithers lays that fastball in for a strike. Costs of cultural activities and all the other associated costs with running an amateur baseball program. Please help us make these boys' dreams of Tokyo come true. Breaking ball misses outside. Smithers, nice pitch, just missed outside. You can help us. GoFundMe.com. Irish National Baseball Team fundraiser. That one misses up and in. Can leave us with that good eye to leave it. So we've got a 5-0 ball game. Ireland blanked for the first time in the top of the third. Greece hopeful of eating into that deficit. And a shot to right field, foul towards the scoreboard and over the scoreboard into the batting cages. Our scoreboard is sponsored by Louisville Slugger for the finest bats and baseball accessories. Google Louisville Slugger. That one's on the ground to McAuliffe on one hop. He fires across the diamond to Ferrado. No problem recording it out. And the green machine keeps it rolling. Keelan Smithers,
Now batting.
when he's needed outs, he's got them.
George Sifliotis.
So George Tsiflikiotis is going to come up for the Greek national team here. Fine defensive shortstop. First at bat here. Misses that one outside. That one misses inside. He's gone outside inside. Keelan Smithers getting all over the plate wherever he can. He's just missed with those last two pitches. He's worked effectively up in the zone, down in the zone. That's a swing and a miss from Tsiflikiotis. Smithers has gotten outs through the ground ball, through the strikeout. That one is a pop foul back over the backstop. So it squares the count, 2-2 on Tsiflikiotis. And Smithers from the windup. Gets him! Strike three called. Right down the pipe. The fastball just froze him.
Now batting. The second
And that's
baseman,
2 away. It's going to bring up the leadoff man.
Max Guaran.
Max Guaran comes back up for his second at-bat. He is 0 for 1, reached on an error to second base. A sharp ground ball along the ground to Brendan Power, as that one is in for a strike. 8 Power alive. Jumped up and hit him on the shins. Came off his glove and scooted away into foul territory. Power did well to prevent any further advance in first base. And that one's on the ground. To Devaney on a hop. Fires over to Ferrado and a good stretch records the out. Nice D by the green machine. They hang up another 0. And through 3, the Greeks have no answer to this Irish national baseball team. We're going to the 4th. Back right after. A carnival atmosphere here at the Irish International Baseball Centre at Ashbourne. County Meath, Ireland, European Sea Pool Championship action. If you're just joining us, you've joined us recently, Ireland lead this one 5-0. Top of the order, Leo Farrell about to address the Greek reliever Nicholas Lettuce in the top of the fourth. So Lettuce, no windup, goes to a stretch. And just misses with that one. Ball one to Leo Farrell, the co-captain of the Irish national team alongside Nathaniel Anglin. Swings and fouls that one away to the backstop. Leo is 1 for 1 with a walk and a single, an RBI, a stolen base, and 2 runs scored. So having a great ball game so far. Checks his swing at that one, which is low and away for a ball, 2-1. Lettuce is on in relief for the starter Peter Sakaris, who was pulled in the second. As the Irish bats were firing early, they scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second. And that one just misses inside despite the nice attempt at a frame job by Georgios Tliveras. Lettuce is going to huff and puff again, and again these Greek pitchers do themselves no favors when they let the umpire know what they think of a call. Hard hit. Oh, right back at Lettuce, right in the midriff. He's going to throw over to first, but now the question is he okay? Time is called, and there'll be a medical assessment of the pitcher, Lettuce.
Now batting. The right
So this
fielder,
visit
number
from Messian
36.
is not charged as a coaching visit. Lettuce insists he's okay. He took that one right in the gut, had the wherewithal to fire a strike to first base, and that'll bring up Santoyani with 1 out. And he clobbers that one along the ground to second base into the glove. Goren can fire a strike over to Sakopoulos, and 2 quick outs for the Greeks. 5 quick outs in a row now for the Greek national team.
The catcher.
That's going to bring up
Number
the catcher,
29,
number 29, Joe Cosgrove.
Cosgrove.
And a big shout out to Joe's biggest fan, except for his mother Leslie, Marina Longo, tuning in from Boston, watching Joe on the Facebook feed. Hey Marina, Joe knows you're cheering for him. And he watches that one up in his eyes. Good take for a ball. Fine young Irish catcher and middle infielder, has played shortstop in 2 games to date. Watches that one for a strike at the letters. Top of the zone fastball right there. That one's away outside to 2-1. That's a strike at the letters as well. So Lettuce has got the high fastball working. And Cosgrove is just going to have to adjust his zone. He knows now where the top of it is, right across the letters at the chest. So he digs in. Lettuce from the stretch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And the side is retired. A second 1-2-3 inning for the Greeks. It's going to bring up the Irish on defense in the bottom of the fourth. Right. Ready. So Ireland lead this one 5-0. They scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second, and they've been shut down back-to-back 1-2-3 innings. As Greece have finally found their mojo on defense, Nicholas Lettuce on in relief of Peter Sikaris. So Keelan Smithers on the mound for Ireland. He has been dealing. Greece have allowed only one base runner so far. Greece have got only one base runner so far on an error in the first.
Now batting for the Hellenic Republic.
That's going to bring up number 5, the center fielder, Peter
number
Maestralis.
Peter Maestralis.
Maestralis struck out swinging in the first. So he's 0 for 1. And from the windup, that one is just up over the letters, and Smithers gets back to the mound. Back to the windup, gets his sign from Cosgrove. And that one is just inside, misses the inside black by a fraction. Huge crowd here at Ashburn. Several hundred people. And there's a shot out to left field where Fox is going to range back a couple of steps and make the play just shy of the fence. Nice defensive positioning. Alan Fox is no problem. With his sunglasses on, he doesn't lose it in the strong evening sun.
Jamie Lekas.
And Ireland record another out through the flyout. It's going to bring up Tomas Lekas, the designated hitter. The breaking ball falls in for a strike. Smithers just pulls the string on that one, and it comes across at the letters, top of the zone. It's a nice, effective pitch. Hitters don't expect a breaking ball at the top. That's outside for a ball. Of course, the danger is, you hang a curve, and a good hitter is just going to take it over the fence. But Smithers feels in control. His stuff is working well today. There's a fly ball. Out to shallow right field, and Santayani ranging in makes the grab. Fine play by the young right fielder for Ireland, Connor Santayani. So 2 away through the fly out to the corner outfielders, and that's going to bring up the big first baseman, the danger man for Greece, Aristotes Ekopoulos. Big Ari. Fouls the first pitch he sees away, a breaking ball low, and he clips it to the Irish dugout. That's low and outside for a ball. Lefty on lefty here as Smithers is facing the danger man for Greece. 7 RBIs in his first game. That's low and misses as well. In his last at-bat, Sakopoulos struck out swinging. Big swing and a miss for strike 2. And a ball he should have had no piece of. So what should be a 3-1 count is a 2-2. Puts it right back into Keelan Smithers' control. He shakes off one sign, gets a pitch he wants. And a swing and a miss, strike 3, and the side is retired. Keelan Smithers shook off whatever Cosgrove had put down, and Cosgrove said, okay, how about the deuce? And the breaking ball works to perfection. Sakopoulos can't hit the curve, strikes out swinging, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Greeks, and I've said that a lot in this ballgame. Ireland hitting in the fifth. Okay, bring me back.
We are now paging Mr. David Shire. David Shire, if you are around, come to the concession stand immediately.
Fifth inning here of your ball game about to begin. Brian McAuliffe about to step in. New pitcher for the Greeks on the mound is Dimitri Lettuce, in relief of Nicholas Lettuce, who came on for Peter Sakaris in the second. Lettuce was pretty good. He allowed in a couple of inherited runners, but
Now batting
was good on his own. Had 2 shutout innings.
third baseman, number 5, Brian McAuliffe.
So Brian McAuliffe has struck out swinging and was given an intentional base on balls. And the crowd shouts, "Let's go, Brian, let's go." They know what he's capable of. 2 huge games so far. First pitch is outside for a ball. He watches that one. Big swing at that one for strike 1. McAuliffe already has a home run in this tournament. He has several extra base hits, so we know what he's capable of. Watches that one below the knees for a ball. That one misses to bring it to 3-1. So hitters count. This will allow Brian to focus on one pitch in one spot. If he gets the one that he wants, we know that he can clobber it. Fouls that one away. Oh, he had the pitch he wanted, but he just got underneath it. Fouls it right back off the catcher's mask, and it skips away to the backstop. To 3 balls and 2 strikes now. And there's a hot shot out. Oh, well gloved out there by the second baseman, Max Guarin. Diving, sprawling, recovers and makes the throw from his wallet over to Ari Sakopoulos, and a good stretch saves an error.
At first base.
And McAuliffe is
Number
retired.
17, is there a doctor in the house? Mike Ferrado.
So Mike Ferrado is going to step in with 1 away and nobody on. And Ari Sakopoulos and Brian McAuliffe proving in this game that they are indeed human and not X-Men or superheroes of some form or description. Both had huge, huge games to begin the tournament. McAuliffe carried that on into game 2 while Greece were on a rest day yesterday. Ferrado watches a strike here to square the count at 1-1. Of course, both capable of some magic at any stage, so they'll each probably get another chance or 2 at bat. Big swing and a miss by Ferrado for strike 2. Mike Ferrado was crucial in organizing last year's Irish national team tour of Canada. As he goes halfway around, he does go around, and he's out, says home plate umpire Tony Jones. A swinging strikeout for Dimitri Lettuce. Mike Ferrado, Brendan Power organized a trip to Ontario, Canada that included taking in a game at Comerica Park in Detroit. They watched the Tigers win, and they even appeared on MLB TV. A great day out for the boys. Brendan Galvin is going to dig in here now with 2 out and nobody on. He watches that one, low and away for a ball.
Hit it hard.
Brendan hit the ball hard in his first at-bat, but right at Ari Sakopoulos, and the left-hander was able to turn a double play to shortstop and right back to himself. And then he clobbered the ball out to right field where it was taken in on the fly by the right fielder, Ioannis Kalivas. So he's 0 for 2 at the moment. And that's in for a strike. So after some early scoring by Ireland, this has been a pitcher's duel since that point. Everyone's been shut down since the second inning. That's in for a strike as well. Check swing and a ball in the dirt. Should square up the count to Galvin. No, it doesn't. 1-2. That one's outside. Strike 3 called, and a good fastball right down the pipe, and Brendan knows he had one there. But it froze him, and he's out. 1-2-3 go the Irish baseball team. Greece looking to eat into a deficit in the bottom of the 5th.
Now batting,
Bring me up.
the third baseman, number 29, Dimitrios Cortis.
So the Green Machine dealing early on. Greece have had one base runner to date, the first man of the game up. Max Goran reached on a fielding error, and since then it's been outs all the way by Keelan Smithers and his defense. Dimitrios Cortis, the third baseman, is going to step in. He grounded out to Brendan Power at second last time up. So Smithers sends one in, misses low and outside for a ball. That one's a foul ball. Squares the count at 1-1. A great evening for baseball. A fantastic summer's day. It's been an Irish scorcher. About 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 21 degrees Celsius throughout the day. As that one misses, away for a ball. Big swing and a miss there for strike 2. That's going to square the count up 2-2. And that breaking ball really, really works when Keelan needs a strike. He can go to it, and it's baffling hitters. Fouls that one away back into the trees behind home plate. Right into a near capacity crowd here. The bleachers are almost full. Breaking ball, but this time, for almost the first time, the Greek batter isn't tempted. Georgios Thliveras spits on that one for a ball. To 2-1. And that one is clipped foul down the left field line. 2 strikes now on Greece's number 3, Georgios Thliveras. Caught the first game for Greece, where they were handy winners on the 15-run rule. There's a ground ball to Brendan Power, gloves it well, and flips it over to Ferrado. The throw takes him off the bag, but Ferrado will apply the tag down the line. And Thliveras is a casualty. 2 men out. That'll bring up Constant Kapathanasis, the left fielder. He popped up on the infield, and Keelan Smithers took it himself last time at bat.
The left fielder, number 14, Costa Kapathanasis.
He tries to bunt for a hit. Pulls it out of the way. A ball up and away. Swing and a miss for a strike. That's a ball outside. And that's a ball low and inside. 3 balls and 1 strike now. Keelan Smithers in danger of issuing up only the second. Oh, there's a hot shot up the middle. It's a base hit, and the no-hit bid is gone. Constant Kapathanasis does a great job of staying behind that one and sends it right back where it came from. And for only the second time in the ballgame, Keelan Smithers is going to have to go to the stretch. It's going to bring up Ioannis Kalivas, the right fielder. He grounded out to Brian McAuliffe at third base in his only at-bat to date. Has made a fine defensive play in right field as well. And that's low and inside and well stopped by Cosgrove. Up and tight for another ball. 2-0. The bottom of the order getting it done here for Greece. That one's a ball as well, so 3-0. Ball 4. And after being untouchable until the base hit, Keelan Smithers gives up a walk on 4 straight pitches.
Shortstop, number 10, George Sifliotis.
So there's a force at any base in the field for Ireland. 2 men on and 2 outs. And George Sifliotis. And Donegal Ferguson's just going out and have a little pep talk with his pitcher. So an absolutely splendid evening here. We've had a great day of baseball. An absolute classic in Game 1. As Slovenia and Finland went to extra innings. Smithers is going to hang on where he is. Coach Fergus just giving him a few words of advice, telling him what to do with runners in first and second. A situation that Keelan has not faced so far in this ball game. As the no-hit bid was just busted up there in the bottom of the 5th with the base hit from Constant Kapathanasis. So George Stificliotis, shortstop, is at bat with a runner on first and a runner on second. Smithers fires a fastball in for a strike. Outside half of the plate. Swing and a miss for strike two. He pulled the string on that one. And it's an 0-2 hole for the young Greek shortstop. Stificliotis. Outside, good waist pitch from Smithers. No swing from Stificliotis. That one is fouled off his foot. So he stays alive. It hurts a little, but he's okay. Smithers was quick to range to his left off the mound in case that one was in play, but it was a foul ball off the batter's foot. Tony Jones calls it dead immediately. And we go right back to where we were. A runner on first, a runner on second, 2 men out, and a 2-strike count on George Stificliotis. Check swing, no swing on what Tony Jones will rule a ball. That breaking ball looked good. Just missed over the letters and really tempted Stificliotis. Inside for another ball. So full count, 2 out. Runners will be in motion. And that one is grounded to short. Devaney makes a great defensive play, and Ireland get out of the inning with no damage. The no-hit bid is gone. Busted up by the single of Constant Kapathanasis. But the walk doesn't come back to hurt them as George Stificliotis grounds out to Devaney, making a fine running play and a great throw over to Ferrado. Ireland have a chance to do more damage. All right, bring me back. So we rejoin our ball game here in the top of the 6th. Ireland lead this 5-0. The Greeks have got Dimitri Lettis on the mound, and they have a right-hander warming up in the bullpen, a lefty warming up, a southpaw in the Irish bullpen. Pat Devaney's about to step in. If you missed it earlier during the anthems, we had a moment's silence for the many people killed in the Greek wildfires and those still missing. And we have been informed, unfortunately, the one Irishman numbers among them. Brian O'Callaghan Westrop was one of those lost in the Greek fires, along with many locals and tourists. And our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone affected by this deep tragedy. Devaney swings and misses. Strike one. Devaney walked in his first at-bat and went score and struck out looking in the top of the 3rd. He was brought home to score on the Alan Fox triple. He watches that one in the dirt. Biggest hit of the ball game so far. That big triple for Alan Fox as he smacked it down the right field line. Check swing, no swing, and another ball. So Dimitri Letas on the bump still for Greece, and warming up the bullpen is Evangelos Orfanakos. He watches a ball up. 3 balls and 1 strike now to the fine young Irish middle infielder, Pat Devaney. 3-2, rather, a full count. Full count pitch, he fouls away to hang on in there. That was a strike, so he does well to stay alive at the plate. Breaking ball falling in at the top of the zone. He was looking fastball, but he just took a little bit off his swing and just clipped it away, foul. So it remains a full count. Tony Jones puts it back in play, and swing and a miss. Foul tip, strike 3. Devaney can't catch up to the good Letas fastball. That's going to bring back up Alan Fox. Letas now has 3 consecutive strikeouts across 2 innings. Back to back to back. Fox checks his swing there, but it's a strike on the pitch anyway. Letas came in and got a ground out and has issued 3 consecutive strikeouts since then. He has been lights out for the Greeks. Just what they needed at a spot where they're 5-0 down and unable to answer the pitching power of Keelan Smithers. And Foxy pops up on the infield, and it's taken on the run by the second baseman, Max Guarin. So Alan Fox had a great first at-bat with his stand-up RBI triple, but he has struck out swinging and popped out. He's 1 for 3. It's going to bring up Brendan Power 0 for 2 to this point. He struck out looking in his first at-bat and was a hard ground ball victim as he clipped it right into the glove of Demetrios Cortis, and that one gets away inside for a ball. Power swings hard at that one. He fouls it right back into the catcher's mask, and it knocks his face guard right off. And there's a shot out to right field. And trouble ball out there as it goes over the fence on 1 hop, and we've got a ground rule double for Brendan Power. He put everything he had into that swing on 2 strikes, and he knocked it over the head of Ioannis Kalivas. He thought he had it, he raised his glove, and then he realized it was going a lot further than he thought. And it 1 hops the wall.
Center fielder, number 58, Leo Farrell.
So that is going to bring up Leo Farrell. There's a base hit and an RBI and a walk, 2 runs scored and a stolen base. And he has a ground out to his credit as well. Lined it hard into the pitcher's midriff. That was Nicholas Letas, and he recovered, fired a strike over to first base. He recovered and finished out the inning, the 1-2-3 inning, his second. But you wonder now whether that was the crucial impact that has taken him out of the game as Farrell fouls that one away. Was he injured on that impact on the hot shot from Leo Farrell right back up the middle? A hell of a play either way as Nick Letas just got his body behind it, stopped it with his hip bone, and recovered to fire a strike to first base. Manager Skip Essien tried to come on and see if he was okay, but Letas was having none of it. Pop up into shallow left field where it is taken by the shortstop, George Tsifikliotis, and the side is retired. So Ireland get a base runner as Brendan Power hits a ground rule double. They score no runs on 1 hit. The Greeks commit no errors, and 1 man is left on base.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
We're going to be back. A great crowd here at the ballpark at the International Baseball Center at Ashburn. A couple of hundred people have streamed in, and more coming in as the evening goes
Now
on.
batting for the Hellenic Republic. The leadoff man,
Top of the order for
second
Greece.
baseman,
They chase
number
a
11,
5-0 deficit.
Worat.
Keelan Smithers attempting to go through the order a third time. Max Gorin digs in. He pulls back his bunt out of the way, but it's a strike on the outer half of the plate anyway. Showing bunt for a hit there. That one is a breaking ball that refuses to break enough to come into the zone. It's a ball. Squares the count at 1-1. Gorin has reached on an error and grounded out to short in 2 at-bats, and he clobbers that one into center field. Farrell is going to come in a long way to make the catch, and the first man is out. Good play by Leo Farrell. He read that and ran in underneath it, camped himself underneath it, and used his throwing hand to support his glove. Good fundamentals.
The center fielder, number 5.
It's going to bring up Pete Mistralis. And from the windup, Smithers gets a breaking ball. Oh, just misses. Fouls that one away to square the count at 1-1. 1 strike, 1 ball. And Ireland's number 87, Keelan Smithers, has been doing some damage. He brought a no-hit bid into the 5th. Gave up a single and a walk, but got himself out of the inning. And oh, that one misses as well. So close. And a mark of Keelan's prowess on the mound is that when he misses just outside the zone rather than missing further into it where a hitter can do some damage. A second ball of the inning out to center field. Farrell, long run, makes another good play.
That's pretty good out there.
Leo Farrell can cover a lot of ground.
Designated hitter, number 12, Jamie Lekas.
Has had a lot of success for his ball club, the Greystones Mariners. Took them to a league title a couple years back and has brought them to the finals the last 2-3 years in a row. Playing a good defensive center field, and over recent years has worked on what was at one stage a weakness in his game, his hitting, and he's proved today that he's certainly up there with the best of them. So one of 2 members of the Irish Domestic League in this starting lineup, alongside Alan Fox. Leo Farrell, the proud co-captain of the Irish national team. And there it is on the ground to Power. He lets that come to him. Fires a strike over to Ferrado, and the side is retired. Jimmy Lekas, the designated hitter, grounds out to end it. So we're going to go all the way to the 7th. Ready to go. So we rejoin the action here at the International Baseball Centre at Ashbourne, County Meath, Ireland. In the top of the 7th, Ireland lead your ball game 5-zip. They're following their dreams of playing in Tokyo 2020, and that begins right here. And you can help them with that dream. Running an amateur baseball program at international level is expensive. All the players are amateur, many of them involved in college programs in the United States and Canada.
Number 28.
So you can help us. Visit the GoFundMe URL on your page, or just search GoFundMe Irish National Baseball Team fundraiser. Help us defray the travel costs, cultural activity costs, food and beverage and accommodation costs of these fine young amateur ball players. Santayani's going to step in now and face a new pitcher in the shape of Evangelos Orfanakos. First pitch swinging, and he pops it up high. A major league pop-up into foul ground where it's not gloved by the charging third baseman Dimitrios Kortis. And Santoyani gets another life. And if he reaches base, an error will be charged on Kortis. So Santoyani gifted a second chance there, as Kortis lost it in the evening sun at the last minute. And right up to Ari Sakopoulos, who's going to make amends for his mate and step on the bag himself. So scored 3 unassisted.
Catcher number 29, Joe Cosgrove.
That's going to bring up Joe Cosgrove. And a big Baseball Ireland shout out to Leslie Cosgrove, watching us now, tuning in. She is, of course, Joe's biggest fan. And she's watching us live on this broadcast on YouTube and Facebook. Cosgrove watches that one in for a strike at the knees. Breaking ball that he wanted no hand or part in. And he watches that one in the dirt, spits on it for a ball. Squares the count at 1-1. Cosgrove got the ball rolling here with a great RBI base hit in the first to score Ireland's first run. He watches that one miss low, despite the frame attempt by Tliveras, the Greek catcher. And he fouls that one away. It's going to square up that count 2-2. Cosgrove checks his swing and a ball in the dirt. That's going to fill the count to 3-2. And that one misses below the knees. Good eye and a great plate appearance there. Useful contribution from Joe Cosgrove. With one away, there's a man on first, and that's going to bring up big bed Brian McAuliffe. McAuliffe is hitless in 2 at-bats. He has been issued an intentional walk. He has struck out swinging and grounded out to second base. He's 0 for 2. And when you consider he went 5 for 6 in last night's ball game, you know that that's just shy of the excellent standards he set himself. Good job by Cosgrove to draw the bases loaded walk. Bases empty walk, rather the leadoff walk after a man was retired. You got to forgive me. Sometimes I'm going to get things wrong. I've been standing here on a gantry for the guts of 12 hours. We called an amazing extra innings ball game earlier on. As that one misses to Brian McAuliffe. Thankfully, I have an excellent production team in Kevin Cosgrove and Joe Zephyrin to try and keep me grounded, saying the right thing at the right time. It doesn't always work. And Evangelos Orfanakos is going to step off. Check Cosgrove back to the bag. Short lead. Cosgrove is going to rely on his secondary. Catcher behind the dish. He's probably not going to run at this juncture. And a pitch out. He's not going anywhere. They've done their scouting on Cosgrove. They know how fast he is. A little pitch out there. They know that he is a speed threat. As an Irish fan, I want him to spare his legs and his knees. I want him to stay safe and healthy. I don't want him sliding into second base. I want to see him come home on a big hit. And that one's low. Another ball to McAuliffe. And ball 4 issued to McAuliffe. With one away, that's runners on first and second for big Mike Ferrato.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 17, Mike Ferrato.
And Ferrato watches that one up and in for a ball. They check the base running signs from Coach Donegal Fergus at third base. Coach Fergus has been a great addition to this Irish team setup. As soon as he gets back to the USA, he's got to go and get his family into the car, drive right across the country to take on a new job as an associate head coach at one of the finest colleges in the United States. And Ferrato swings at that one and fouls it away all the way to the backstop, where it's going to bounce off the netting and go right the way back out to Orphanakas. He's going to swap it out. And that's the one experience, the difference between this and an Irish League baseball game. They changed the baseballs a lot. There's a lot of white baseballs being used, a lot of new baseballs being used. We use baseballs until they fall apart in the Irish Baseball League. There's a shot. Out into the gap in left center. Cosgrove is going to score with ease. McAuliffe is going to round third and score. And they're going to throw to third to hold Ferrato at second, but it's a stand-up 2 RBI double right over the head of the left fielder, Constant Kapathanasis. And the Greeks shaded Ferrato to where they thought he was going to put it, and he just hit it further than they thought, further than they give him credit for even. And that's a big hit to make this a 7-0 ball game here in the 7th. Up comes the DH, Brendan Galvin. With a runner in scoring position and one away. The only out recorded so far was the ground out by Santoyani to lead off the inning. Galvin watches one miss low and inside. A ball and no strikes. Ireland open out to a 7-0 lead here in the 7th. That one's in the dirt as well, but no advance from Ferrato. Very well blocked back there by Georgios Thliveras. And that big hit is our Baden big hit of the night. Baden Sports, as this one is grounded up the middle to short. Galvin is going to try and leg this one out, but it's a ground out. It's a useful one as it advances Ferrato, whose double is our Baden Sports Baden big hit of the night. Baden Sports for your baseball and softball needs.
Number 15, Pat Devaney.
So with 2 away and a runner at third base, up comes Pat Devaney. Ferrato's going to be on his toes. Any pass ball or wild pitch will give him an opportunity to turn this into an 8-0 game, as Devaney watches that one up and in for a ball. Devaney clobbers that one sky high to second base to Gorin, who will grab the can of corn, and the side is retired.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would invite everybody to stand, please.
Ireland scored 2 runs on 1 hit No errors, and they leave one man on base. That big hit from Michael Anthony Fratto brings us to the stretch, and we'll be back right after we sing about Katie Casey. She was baseball mad, so are we. See you in a few. All right, let's come back.
Now batting, the first baseman.
So we're back into the bottom half of the seventh. Keelan Smithers going to continue with his fine ball game on the mound. And the big danger man, the first baseman, Ari Sakopoulos, is going to come up to bat. The Greek first baseman has struck out swinging twice in 2 at-bats. He is 0 for 2. And he watches that one low at the ankles for a ball. Ireland 7, Greece 0, bottom of the 7th. In this broadcast brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill. As Sakopoulos clobbers that one deep to right field. Santoyani camps under it. Makes the two-handed grab, and the side is shut down so far. First out of the inning, Ari Sakopoulos.
Now batting, third baseman, number 29, Dimitrios Courtis.
It's going to bring up Dimitrios Courtis.
You'll also notice a new left fielder for the Irish, Frank Hagen, in the left field.
Defensive replacement for Ireland. Fun time Frank Gagan replaces Alan Foxy Fox. And that's in for a strike from Smithers. Shout out to Andrea Norton watching. She says, come on, Ireland. So do we all, so do we all. Let me know where you're watching from. You're watching from the Emerald Isle. You're watching from the USA, Canada. Watching from Greece, cheering on the Hellenic Republic. Let me know. There's a ball on the ground. Backhand stop by Devaney. Throws across the diamond. Ferrado makes the tag. A great defensive readjustment. Saves an error. Great defensive play there by Michael Anthony Ferrado. Sean Clancy has just joined us on this broadcast, which is brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill in the shadow of the Empire State Building, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. Check out their Burger of the Week on Facebook now. Stepping up to bat, it's number 3, the catcher, Georges Cliveris, and he watches a ball low. Alan Gorski's watching from a couch, and Sean Clancy's watching us from Foley's New York Bar and Grill. That one's on the ground, but a foul ball. One of many baseball games you can see in Foley's. They're going to have every major league game that's televised. Big hockey bar as well, if you like ice hockey. I'm Irish. We don't get ice hockey. We just don't understand it. It's just different.
Put the ball in the net.
Put the ball in the net. Put the puck in the net. We can understand that bit. Emmett Ryan, the technology editor and editor of Connected Magazine with the Sunday Business Post, is watching while writing about water on Mars. Is there life on Mars? Said David Bowie. Is there life in this Greek team? There probably is. Ireland lead this ball game 7-0. Tanya Craman is watching from London. Cheering on with their London Mets teammates, their very own Brendan Power at second base for Ireland. Brendan had that massive ground rule double last time he was up at bat. Swing and a miss at a ball in the dirt, and he's tagged out. The side is retired. Pete Pamp watching from Rathmines. A glurug play-by-play Oscuelga, the national language of Ireland. Will Pete Pamp show gutcha? How many brand new air Clihed and Scohanshaw for in the Heron le Shacht. Score all Jacob. Agus Fwacig and Greg Gadisha. Niosi gan aimsir gad Harlow o Makanshaw a Clihed and Scott o na Heronig. Astrid Backer tuning in, watching from Holland. And Stephanie Marie says, how many times can you walk Brian McAuliffe? He came here to play ball, not to go for a walk around the bases. Let's go Team Ireland. They've seen Brian McAuliffe's bat. They're being careful, and who could blame them? Brian McAuliffe with 7 RBIs in his first game. He went 5 for 6 in his second game. An incredible performance to date. And so far, he has drawn 1 intentional walk. He has drawn a walk himself and scored off it. Yeah, bring me back up.
Let's not wait. Just wait till this one's over. Spaceball.
So, new pitcher for the Greeks, Nicholas Vidas. They also make a host of defensive realignments.
Like to remind everybody one
Maestralis
more
has come in.
Batted balls can hurt you, so be vigilant and alert. Be aware.
Maestralis has come in to play third base. Dimitris Kourtis has left the game for Bill Les. He's going to play second base.
Last half of the inning there.
And Max Gorin is going to take over in the outfield.
Frank Gahagan.
So Frank Gagan, fun time Frankie's going to come up to bat. Wearing number 7 for Ireland, the Dublin Spartan stalwart replaces his clubmate, Alan Fox, in left field, and he watches the first pitch come in for a strike. We're in the top of the 8th inning here. Ireland in control, 7-0. Behind a great pitching performance by Keelan Smithers and a good defensive performance to back him up. Frankie checks his swing, and that's a ball. Nicholas Vidas comes on in relief of Evangelos Orphanakos. He is the 5th pitcher of the evening for Greece. They're burning through arms here. They had a rest day yesterday, but they've got to go Thursday, Friday, and potentially a final on Saturday in a row. Big swing and a miss for strike 2 from Frankie. So they're going to hope that Nicholas Vidas can see them right through to the end of the game here. They do have another right-hander warming up in the bullpen at the moment. Ireland have relievers up as well. We don't know if Keelan Smithers is going to be given free rein to continue in the 8th. Time is called, and the catcher's going to step out. Tliveras just to have a word, discuss strategy with Vidas. So those defensive changes again. Bill Les has come in for Demetrios Cortis, and he, instead of playing third base, will play second base. The second baseman, Max Guerin, will go out to center field, and the center fielder, Pete Mistralis, will come in and play third. New pitcher is Nicholas Vidas, and the batter is another substitute, Frank Gagan. He watches that one outside. Good eye. Swing and a miss. Strike three. The ball in the dirt. They are going to have to throw down. And Frankie's retired. So Frank Hagan goes down via the strikeout and the 2-3 put out for the first out of the inning. And that's going to bring up second baseman Brendan Power. Ground rule double in his last at bat. Has struck out looking and grounded out to the third baseman in previous ones. He's 1 for 3. Gave up the error to allow the first base runner, but has had a fine defensive game since then. He watches that one in for a strike. Good fastball from Vidas. A change of pace compared to Orfanakis, who was there before him. So mixing that up is probably just going to take the Irish batters a little bit to get used to. And that one is lined right back up the middle, where it will be stopped on the backhand. And not in time, an infield single for Brendan Power. A great defensive effort by Bill Les as he goes 20, 30 steps to his right, backhands it, throws it as he falls.
Leo Farrell.
But Brendan Power is going to beat out the throw. Leo Farrell up to bat now, has walked and scored and has an RBI base hit, a stolen base, and a second run to his name. He lined out hard off the pitcher's ribs or hip and has popped up to the shortstop as well. So he is 1 for 3 with a walk. Checks his swing at a ball in the dirt. One away as Frank Gagan is an out. Brendan Power at first base. Leo Farrell at bat. And that one is clipped onto the ground, but it'll be a foul ball. So a big crowd here at the ballpark at Ashbourne. All of our bleachers are full right up. The hills are full. People are standing around. Looks like standing room only at the bar. All here for the first ever European Championship tournament to be held in Ireland, the C Pool Qualifiers. That's in for a strike. Strike 2 to Leo. Really good fastball there from Nicholas Vidas. And there's a shot out to the outfield. It's going to fall in. Power's going to take a hard turn, and he's held up by Coach Fergus. Runners at first and second. Good solid line drive base hit from Leo Farrell. As he adds to his total, he's now 2 for 4 with a walk and 2 runs and 1 RBI. It's going to bring up Connor Santoyani. Santoyani started off the game with back-to-back walks and back-to-back innings and then has grounded out twice. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored. Santoyani demonstrated in the previous 2 games, though, there's a lot of pop in his bat. So with a runner in scoring position and 1 away, he's looking to make this an 8 or even a 9-run ball game. Of course, if Ireland can make it 10, that ends it. They'll just have to see out the bottom of the inning, let Greece have a chance to redress it, and Santoyani pops that one up and out of play. Auntie Gogo is watching in from Boston. She's cheering on Joe Cosgrove. Big shout out, Mary Jo. Joe's going to try and hit one for you if he gets up. He is, of course, on deck after Santoyani, having a fine ball game so far. And Santoyani clips that one away foul. Joe Cosgrove on deck playing catcher for Ireland. He is 1 for 3 with a walk. He had that RBI base hit, that single in the first to get the ball rolling. And walked in the 7th inning and would come around to score on the double. Santoyani on the ground to the pitcher. No time to strike for two. And we've got 2 outs on the inning and 2 runners in scoring position for Cosgrove. So that'll bring up the young Irish catcher.
The catcher, number 29, Joe Cosgrove.
So Cosgrove steps up. Already 1 base hit and 1 RBI to his name. And looking to really open up this ball game. Ireland in control 7-0. He watches that one off-speed pitch inside half of the plate in for a strike. Big swing and a miss for strike 2 from Cosgrove. He offers at the breaking ball and can't make a connection. And that one just misses outside. A real good take from Joe Cosgrove, 0-2. Tough take. Fastball. Looked like it's outside black, but it misses outside. Cosgrove saw it all the way, was not interested. So runners at second and third. Brendan Power and Leo Farrell aboard. And Joe Cosgrove puts that one on the ground. Third baseman's going to try and make the play. No, it gets away. 1 run scores. Farrell's going to gun for home. The second run scores. And the speedy Joe Cosgrove was on his way to second base before you knew it. A wild throw from the third baseman means that both runs will score. Joe Cosgrove beats out the throw for an infield single, but the wild throw is going to be charged as an error, allowing a second run to score, and Cosgrove to make it all the way to second base. So it's a 9-run game, and Joe represents the 10th run. He's at second base, and up comes big bad Brian McAuliffe. Hitless so far. He's been walked intentionally once and has drawn a walk a second time up. He struck out and has grounded out, and he watches that one for a ball. We're not used to saying Brian McAuliffe 0 for, but he's 0 for 2 at the moment with 2 walks and a run scored. He would also score on the monster double by Michael Anthony Ferrado. And he clips that one away foul for a strike. There's a shot from Brian towards the gap. It's going to fall. Joe Cosgrove is going to score the 10th run, and McAuliffe has a stand-up double as that one skips all the way to the wall, 330 feet away. And McAuliffe has another extra base hit to add to his tally for the tournament. He is tearing the cover off the ball in this one, as he hands off his protective gear and trots back to second base. That's going to bring up Mike Ferrado.
Ferrado.
2 RBI double in his last plate appearance. He has a double and a single, a walk, and has struck out in this one. So with 2 away, Ferrado's going to bear down. And that one's in for a strike. Ferrado, a tall guy, has a long letters, middle of the chest. Ryan McAuliffe at second base, 2 outs, and Ferrado watches that one up and away for a ball. That one's outside for a ball. Two balls, one strike. Nicholas Vitas on the bump for Greece is the 5th pitcher of the ball game for them. And that's a ground ball out to shortstop. The throw across the diamond is scooped by Ari Sakopoulos, and the side is finally retired. But not after they tack on 3. Ireland takes a 10-run lead into the bottom of the... All right, bring me back. We rejoin the action here in the bottom half of the 8th. Greece trying to avoid a mercy killing here. Ireland have a new pitcher on the bump. Mitch Hillert, the lefty, is in to relieve Keelan Smithers.
Number 57, Mitch Hillert.
So as Constant Kapathanasis is going to step up, he is the only hit of the ball game so far. Keelan Smithers finishes with no runs given up, none earned, on 1 hit and 1 error, and 7 strikeouts, 1 for every inning he pitched. He goes 7 strong. Ireland with a chance to shut this down and win it in the 8th. And that's popped up, foul ball over the backstop and away, right into the coffee shop queue. And there's a long line to get beer here. I have a feeling we may need to send down an order for the production team. So Mitch Hillert, the lefty, deals. Check swing, but it's strike 3 on the pitch, and the first out is recorded.
Now batting, right fielder, number 20.
That's going to bring up a pinch hitter.
No. We have a substitution, ladies and gentlemen.
Replacing Ioannis Kalivas is number 46, Dimitrios Lomas.
Now batting.
So Lomas is going to come in as a pinch hitter.
Dimitrios Lomas.
Lomas watches a ball for ball 1. Hillert sends that one inside and low. Lomas gets out of the way at danger. And 2 balls now to the new man in. Pops that one up, sky high, but out of play to the hill, where it falls in among the crowd. And not enough of this crowd have brought their baseball gloves.
Seems a good time to remind you, foul balls can come at any time. Be aware when people are yelling heads up, that's what they're talking about.
So Lomas watches that one in for a strike in the knees, and now there's 2 strikes and 2 balls on him. That one is a ball in the dirt that gets away. And Greece have another pinch hitter in the on-deck circle. Replacing George Tsiflikiotis will be the poetically named Dimitri Zumboulakis. So 3-2. On the ground to McAuliffe on one hop. Across the diamond to Ferrado. And that is the second out of the inning. Score at 5-3.
Number 30.
It's going to bring in the pinch hitter, Dimitri Zumboulakis. And he is the last chance saloon for Greece. If he doesn't score, we're going home early. This broadcast is brought to you by Foley's New York Bar and Grill, home of the Irish American Baseball Hall of Fame. As that one is fouled away to the Irish dugout. Check out their Facebook page, Foley's New York, for their Burger of the Week. That one just misses. Little low from Mitch Hillert. And that one's low for a ball as well. Good eye here from Zumboulakis. The crowd are starting to sing Shoes Off for the Boys in Green. Bring a little bit of soccer flair to this baseball game here at Ashburn. That's in for a strike. And now there's two on Zumboulakis. And Greece potentially down to their last strike of the evening. The capacity crowd at Ashburn gets to its feet from the windup. Mitch Hillert issues another ball in the dirt, and that is going to fill the count, 3-2. As the national anthem rings out from the crowd now, the payoff pitch from Hillert out of the windup. Fouled away, and Zumboulakis stays alive. The crowd are singing out Ron Naveen. It's 10-0 Ireland, and Hillert misses. Oh, it hits him on the way through, and as a hit by pitch, Zumboulakis is going to take first base. That's going to bring up the leadoff man, center fielder Max Warren. So even if this game is beyond Greece, they are going to want to score and score often in the last two innings if they can make it that far. We're here in the bottom of the eighth. Because the score is going to be crucial when it comes to a tiebreaker. If Ireland win this one, which they look poised and in perfect position to do, they will be favorites to reach the final. And the Greece-Slovenia game will become crucial, as Greece will go to 1-1, the record Slovenia currently hold as well. Ireland will remain the only undefeated team in the tournament at that stage, going into their Friday night clash against Slovenia. They have a rest day tomorrow, but we've got plenty of baseball action for you. Games at 12:30 and 5:30 right here at the ballpark, and streamed on Facebook as that one goes on the ground. Brian McAuliffe throws to Michael Ferrado, and the ball game is over. Ireland wins at a score of 10-0. A second consecutive team one-hitter from Ireland, as their pitching has been par excellence in this tournament.
That is our game, ladies and gentlemen.
That's our ball game on the 10-run rule. We're going to pack it up early here from Ashburn. We'll be back with you tomorrow at 12:30 for more baseball action. The European Championships continue right here on Baseball Ireland's Facebook and YouTube. Exclusively broadcast around the world to you. I'm Pete Cavanaugh. My thanks to Kevin Cosgrove and Joe Zeffron on production, and to Foley's New York Bar and Grill for sponsoring our broadcast. Baseball Ireland signing off. Safe travels. We'll talk to you tomorrow.